Well, hello, and welcome to Pop and Heat, episode 48. I'm Kier.
And I'm Leash, and welcome to your new favorite wrestling podcast.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
Here we are.
Yep.
2 weeks away from Mania.
I know, the road to Wrestlemania is closing up quick.
Yeah, and the card is filling up quick.
Yeah, that's true. Real quick now. They've really sped things up, as they do. I mean, we've noticed this on other roads to WrestleMania, but the closer you get, these storylines seem to
Rapid fire.
Yeah, push pretty quick. They're trying to fill in any gaps, so.
Yeah, it's been pretty controversial week for some of the card. I'm not sure that there are any more matches to come at this point. It's a pretty full show, I think. Maybe two at the very most, if any.
Yeah.
I don't know. But 10 matches are announced already. So
we are going to recap SmackDown and RAW from this past week. And I do have the updated card to go through so we can read through it. But yeah, you and I were talking about, what potential other matches they might add. And then upon looking at the card, we're like, maybe there won't be any more. I mean, it's packed. So
yeah. That ladder match that's been announced now too, that's going to take some time.
Yeah.
So, to put more than 5 matches on each card, it would be ambitious.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
it's not typical to have
No.
more than that. So.
I don't think so. No.
No, not for any PLE, really.
Well, 2-night Mania, 2-night SummerSlam, you're going to get bigger cards, but I think 6 will be the absolute max
per night. Of course. Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Well, let's get into our recap.
Let's.
All right. We had Friday Night SmackDown. So in this, Randy Orton opened the show. He comes out, talks about chasing the 15th world title, and Matt Cardona comes out and confronts him. This is kind of a quick segment. It ends pretty abruptly, like nothing too much really happens. He comes out, attacks Randy Orton with the mic. I mean, it ends with him just yelling at Randy Orton from ringside. I don't really know. What are your thoughts on this Matt Cardona thing? Like, I just don't really know why he's brought into this.
Yeah, I mean, it's to build up more of the heel persona
Just
for
Randy being crazy.
Yeah, just to kind of keep feeding the bad guy thing. I'm not sad to see Cardona in the spotlight a little bit more. I'm a Cardona fan, and I want him to be more involved in things. Now, not necessarily thrilled with it being him being, Randy's punching bag, but it's better than running to the ring occasionally to help other people. So
yeah, or losing every small mid card or lower match that he's in, At least this puts him in one of the big storylines.
Exactly.
Which, for what you want to see him get to is good for his trajectory.
Yeah, and this little encounter led to a match being created for later in the evening. So, again, more spotlight for him. Good stuff.
Good stuff for Matt Cardona.
Mr. Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green, that's right. Next, we had the Bella Twins versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. We had Nia Jax and Lash Legend watching this match from ringside. Lash Legend interferes. It ends up helping the Bellas win this match. But there is a post-match attack.
Post-match attack.
Post-match attack. And the champs attack. And Bayley and Lyra Valkyria actually come out to save Charlotte and Alexa.
Yeah, more feeding the theory that we've had for quite some time now. This is going to just be a multi-woman tag match for Mania. And I'm here for it. They've been doing an okay job with this. I mean, it's a bit repetitive week after week, but that's what you do, right?
And as we've been saying, the tag division is stacked. So, I mean, we want to get all of those big stars into Mania, and this is a perfect way to do it. Have this huge tag match go on.
Yep, that's the way. I thought the Kabuki Warriors were going to be in it, but it looks like that is taking on a different story now.
Yep.
So, and I'm not upset about that.
No.
So we'll get into that. But yeah, looks like it's going to be an 8-woman tag match for the title at Mania.
Yeah, I don't like the Kabuks involved in this anyway. I think that they should this alternate plan.
We don't really
for
like them involved in anything.
I don't want them involved in anything, but I think what they're doing with them suits them better than being involved in this. So,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't think that they measure up to the other women's tag teams that are in this, in my opinion. I mean, I know there's a lot of huge Asuka fans. Kairi Sane, I mean,
yeah,
take her or leave her.
The direction that they're going in with them is the one that makes sense right now. There's some story around it. So, yeah, I like where this is all playing out.
Next we had Rhea Ripley versus B-Fab. So this is set up after Rhea Ripley's confrontation with Jade Cargill's whole new faction that she's got going on with Michin and B-Fab. Michin and Jade Cargill both are interfering in this match. Jade Cargill's interference ends with a disqualification. Rhea Ripley wins by DQ. And we have another post-match attack. Post-match attack. And it's a 3-on-1. They all start beating on Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. This is the second time I felt like someone's going to come out to save her. It's going to be okay. And nobody does.
A couple times you were like, here comes Io. And she just never comes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
This would lead us to believe that Rhea will, be the winner at Mania, because generally that's kind of how these things go. Is the underdog on the road there usually gets the win. I'm not sure in this situation if Rhea's going to get the title again.
I mean, WWE loves to give her the title again.
They do. But they also recognize that she doesn't need it. No. And I'm not sure that Jade hits the same without the belt. So I don't know.
I get that for sure.
I feel like this one is in the air.
Yeah, it could be. Historically, even when we don't think Rhea needs it, WWE still throws her that bone. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. They give her opportunities. They take them away really quick because they keep wanting her in that chase picture. Yeah. And, people give her a lot of crap for that, but her pop never seems to fade.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Fan fave.
She is a fan fave. That's true. Next, we had Jelly Roll versus Kit Wilson.
Right.
Our comedy match, our comedy duo, as it were. So, yeah, Kit Wilson doing his poetry antics. Jelly Roll does pick up the poetry book at one time and goes to hit Kit Wilson with it, but misses. Kit Wilson does his finisher on Jelly Roll, which Jelly Roll kicks out of. The finisher that you pointed out is called
the Turn E Kit. Pretty sure that's what they called it.
Yeah. It's not a great name, but anyway.
Weak in name and weak in effectiveness, apparently, because Jelly kicked out.
Yeah, Jelly kicked out, and he ends up getting the win over Kit Wilson with a choke slam. That's his move that gets him to the finisher.
Yeah, he put Logan Paul through like that Jimmy Kimmel desk last year. So that's not the first time we've seen him do that. And I think he choke slammed Austin Theory in the ring that first time
choke slam
he showed
seems
up
to
too.
be his go-to.
Yeah,
I like it. I do not like I get Jelly Roll's country star. I'm not, I don't have any aversion to country music. The area we grew up in, country music is very popular. I do not like the song they picked for Jelly Roll's entrance.
No.
It's not menacing at all. I just feel like maybe that's what they're going for. They don't want Jelly Roll to be menacing. He's everybody's friend. I just think I hate the music.
It's terrible.
It's not WWE entrance
music.
Why
would it not be one of his own songs?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, for sure.
Come on. That's just so obvious.
He probably picked it, but
clearly, but
it's terrible. It's a terrible choice.
He's trying to be humble in not picking one of his own songs, but I think it would hit so much better if he did.
Yeah.
That song, it's too mellow. It's too wussy.
Yeah.
He needs something with a little more punch.
Just not intense enough for WWE.
Not at all. But we have to acknowledge that Jelly Roll has a win in WWE now.
It's true.
His childhood dream has come true.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. I know there's a lot of people out there that are not loving that, but
we said on our last episode, I like it. I think that people need to get over the fact that he's not, lifelong wrestler, that he's a celebrity coming in. I mean, they've had tons of celebrities over the years. It's a huge part of WWE. More exposure for the brand. I think it's great.
Now, I will say this. If they plan on bringing him back again and again, then he's gonna have to get a little bit more legitimized, like I think it's one thing if you're Logan Paul, it's another if you're Jelly Roll
I get it, yeah.
on the full-time
He's working
basis.
his way
Yeah,
there. I
yeah, for
mean,
sure, for sure. But I think that's where the majority of people are going to take issue. It's like the celebrity guest is not a new thing for
yeah,
WWE, but you come and you go,
yeah.
right?
True, yeah. If you're gonna keep coming back, you need to look like a viable candidate in this situation.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it it works okay for now with guys like Kit Wilson or in tag scenarios, but it's going to take a lot more before he's viable in a single scenario with anybody of real credibility.
Yeah. All right, next we had Carmelo Hayes versus Sami Zayn. This is a US title match.
Yeah,
Sami Zayn answering the open challenge that Carmelo Hayes put out there. As everyone in the world is doing. Carmelo Hayes has had this open challenge for a long time
yeah,
now. Yeah. Trick Williams is there watching the match. He ends up accidentally costing Carmelo Hayes the win, and Sami Zayn becomes the US title holder. That being said, Trick Williams, there's like a big fumble here because there's like a
big time.
moment where he goes to punch. Looks like what they tried to do was make it so that he would go to punch Sammy would duck and he would hit Carmelo Hayes. But he waited too long.
Sammy ducked, and yeah, Trick took way too long to
Yeah.
throw that punch, and it looked like he clearly knew he was hitting Carmelo, and it just kind of blew the shock of it all.
Well, and I said to you, I'm like, was Trick Williams trying to help Sami Zayn? Because that's how it ended up looking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. There was a promo beforehand backstage that I think gave this all away too, right? Like Sammy just getting all worked up and like, I'm gonna find my way into Mania and then rushing out to the
yeah.
ring, and you're like, man, like you know what's gonna happen here. And I guess this is a good setup because they've been building heat with Trick and Sammy, so this would be a good thing to build something to that and give Trick the belt, which I think
Yeah.
works. He's got a ton of,
Oh, yeah.
love from the crowd right now. He's way over. So, and Sammy is not. Like
No.
Sammy is not vibing with the crowd like he used to, and for good reason. So yeah, I mean, I see where they're going with this. I had said last week I think Carmelo's had the belt long enough. So, this is as good as anything else, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it goes any other way than Trick getting that belt, then I don't know what they're
Oh my God,
doing.
people are gonna riot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way that can't happen. Like,
No.
no way.
No. Next we had a Jacob Fatu Drew McIntyre segment. So they come out looking, roughed up from their previous encounters. Lots of tension between them. Nick Aldis comes out and announces that they have a match at WrestleMania and it's an unsanctioned match.
Unsanctioned, but still on the
I
WrestleMania
know.
card.
I think this every time they say that.
It's
It's unsanctioned.
yeah,
Well, you're announcing
we have
it.
no responsibility.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come on.
You're announcing it.
It's part of the match, guy.
Yeah. Unsanctioned only makes sense to me. I feel like the wrestlers themselves should be like, we're having a match no matter what anyone says.
Like, you told us we couldn't, but like,
We're doing
bring
it
your cell
anyway.
phones to the parking lot, people.
Yeah, it should be.
There's your unsanctioned
There's
match.
your idea. Parking lot matches. That's the unsanctioned
That's right.
match.
The ones that couldn't make the card, they're unsanctioned.
I don't know. But it does not make sense to me that the general manager is like, it's unsanctioned. Well, you announced it and decided on it. So
yeah, it's ridiculous.
next we had Julia versus Tiffany Stratton.
Our favorite.
Oh my God. Well, we love Tiffy. I mean, I love me some Tiffy time.
Sorry, I
Not
guess
so
my
much
timing
Julia.
on that was a little late.
Yeah.
We're not big fans of Julia. Can't stand that she still has that belt. Like, I feel like I've been bitching about this for so long now.
No, I've said multiple times, I find Kiana James, and I don't like Kiana James, don't get me wrong, I don't like her. I find her more interesting than Julia. Get Julia out of the picture and bring Kiana James into more of a, bigger character standpoint. I can't handle the way they're doing this.
I agree with that. And the way that they handed Tiffy the loss here, like Kiana distracts her. She takes the knees to the gut on the prettiest moonsault ever. And Julia just rolls her over and pins her. Like that was a finishing move to get your knees up.
She's down and out.
Whoever would lose to that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just ridiculous, really.
Yeah. So
Tiffy
ridiculous.
deserves better.
So yeah, Julia wins. Kiana James, quote unquote, interferes. She's just there distracting, but
yeah, it wasn't really interference as much as a distraction.
No.
A delay.
Next we had the main event, Randy Orton versus Matt Cardona. Randy Orton very clearly dominates this match. He focuses a lot on Matt Cardona's injured arm. He pulls off his cast. He finishes with an RKO and wins the match. But then our boy Cody Rhodes comes out and lays a beating down on Randy Orton. Well, starts to.
Yeah, he held his own pretty well through this confrontation, but it seemed like, he would dish a whole lot and Randy would just keep kind of coming back, And let's not forget that he had just had a match as well.
You're right. I agree. And so there's a huge, massive brawl. Jelly Roll comes out, tries to intervene, talk Randy down. Show ends in chaos, just big brawl at the end of the show.
Trying to get that Roman Reigns CM Punk heat happening with them, trying to equal the level of excitement. They did a decent job. Like, I feel like it's getting there. I'm not sure anything is going to rival that excitement, with the exception of maybe one other match with Oba. He's becoming like a fave for us for sure. Big fans. But yeah, that Brock Lesnar Oba Femi match, I think, is a bit of a show stealer right now.
I think between those three kind of single men's matches, I mean, I know there's more than that, but those three do have quite a bit of anticipation behind them. I think they're good. They're solid matches. They've done enough for Cody and Randy to make it compelling. CM Punk and Roman Reigns, obviously, that's like gonna blow up. And then the Obi Brock Lesnar, Obi.
Obi. It's just a quick way to say it.
Yeah, it's a short form for his name. I don't hate it. That match is super exciting. So those three, I think, are doing well. Let's move into Monday Night Raw.
Let's.
Okay. Cody Rhodes comes out. He is addressing the crowd ahead of his WrestleMania match with Randy Orton, obviously. Before he really can get talking too much, we hear some music hit, and it's Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
And both of us, I posted a TikTok of our reaction on this, and we were like, what is going on? Why is she here?
Yeah.
We're still confused as it goes through, but basically it's her warning him, this version of Randy Orton, like, you cannot compete with that in your state. You've taken the golden road to get to where you are. You've stayed true to who you are. You can't get as down low and dirty as you need to beat Randy Orton. She ends up telling him, like, you are not your father. And then at this point, I have the video and you're like, what is that? Yeah, he's not Dusty Rhodes. He's a champion.
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes.
No disrespect to Dusty, but like, clearly he's not his father.
Yeah.
Like,
but what it actually gets to is then Cody turns around and says to Stephanie McMahon, he's like, no offense, but you're not your father either. Well, I don't even know that he says no offense, but you're not your father either. To which she slaps him across the face. But when he first says that, I was thinking, like, that's kind of a compliment. Like, do you want to be Vince McMahon?
No, probably not. I mean, but in the wrestling world, he's revered, right?
Right. I know. By these people in this situation, I'm like, worldwide, do we want to be?
He's not thought of in the best light these days.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that whole thing, I didn't get it. I mean, for me, this was super flat.
Yeah.
I thought, like, right from the get-go, I thought
forced. You said you thought it was very forced. Yeah.
They're trying way too hard to try and put, that heat on Randy and build the excitement, build the drama of it all. They sent Stephanie McMahon out to do this, like, out of the blue. Like, come on. This felt so disjointed. We didn't need it. We've got a couple more weeks still too, like, This fire is burning just fine without you. Like, let it go.
Their angle on her being there was that she, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes are all multi-generational in the industry. So that was kind of the angle for her being there.
But I mean, for that matter, who the hell isn't?
Yeah.
Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Roman Reigns, The Rock.
It's a good point. When you're talking about Nepo babies in WWE, I mean, a lot of them, this is what wrestling is. I mean, people come from wrestling families and they get into wrestling. Like,
the list goes on and it always will. So, yeah, again, that connection, no, not strong enough. It was ridiculous. And to start the show like that, I was angry right out of the gate.
Yeah. I saw a tweet from Brandy. Remember I was telling you? And she was like, Steph, I'm just chilling. Don't make me get up out of my chair after Stephanie slaps Cody across the face.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, she's funny.
So, yeah, I guess the whole idea is that she's trying to push Cody to have a more aggressive mindset against Randy Orton. And, the idea here is that, this builds up Randy Orton to be this big heel, enforces his heel status. And then B, the thing we were talking about and we've seen on a couple other streamers say is that it opens the door for Cody to have a heel turn.
Yeah, which that door's been open for a long time.
You're right, it has. Yeah.
They've left that door open for, I feel 6 months now.
But I feel like they've hinted at it more, and this is more of a bigger opening for him to do that if he needs to.
They're waiting for the right moment to to make that move. And I think that they've kept the door open. They opened it a long time ago, and they've kept it open the way that they have because they just don't know when that moment is. They're keeping their options alive. So I don't know that we're going to see that anytime soon. I thought we would a long time ago, but I don't see the purpose of turning him heel against the heel Randy Orton.
Yeah, that's a good point too, for sure. How do you turn a heel?
Why?
How do you have a heel turn against a heel? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If they're going to do it, they have to do it at a time where I think it'll make more of an impact. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is the time.
No. Okay, next we had the World Tag Team title street fight. This was the Usos versus the Vision. Weapons heavy match, tables, kendo sticks. Also Logan Paul goes and collects the brass knuckles from his mother's purse. She's sitting next to iShow Speed in the front row, and you immediately were like, why didn't he just bring them? It's a street fight. You can have whatever you want. You don't need to hide them in your mother's purse. But they did.
He could have drove a truck of brass knuckles to the ring and just been like, put like 5 on each hand. Yeah, like I want to eat them. Like, yeah. His mom's like, here, take them. Like,
secretly,
like, come on.
No, yeah. You can do whatever you want.
Silly.
It's ridiculous. LA Knight is there watching this match. He's a guest commentator. So when he sees the brass knuckles, he comes over to kind of stop Logan Paul from using them. Logan Paul grabs onto iShow Speed.
You ever see a mom react so little to a guy just starting to smash her son? Oh. LA Knight comes over, just starts beating him. She's like, oh,
I wasn't even paying attention.
She's like, oh, let me get out of the way.
I'll have to go back and watch that. I did not notice.
Oh, it was great. Like, even she doesn't care if her son gets his ass kicked.
She's over it. She's like, I brought the brass knuckles. That's all I had to do here. Okay.
Well, like, he deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so Logan Paul, grasping at straws here, grabs iShow Speed, pulls him over the barricade, ringside, and iShow Speed is has the brass knuckles, puts the brass knuckles on. LA Knight comes up behind him, puts his hand on his shoulder, and iShow Speed turns around thinking it's Logan Paul and punches LA Knight in the face with the brass knuckles. So,
yeah, and he was very, very frightened of what was to come after that.
Yeah, he was like, I did not mean to do that.
Yeah. I would think that a man of his size probably doesn't want to create an enemy in LA Knight. So,
No.
yeah, he's going to be nervous.
And it was pretty funny because then Logan Paul does end up using the brass knuckles in the ring. They win the titles. And then as they're leaving, they've got iShowSpeed with them. And he's like, no,
holding
I'm
his
not
arms in
part
the
of
air.
your group. I didn't mean to do that. I'm not part of your group.
Like,
and
you helped us.
Logan
This
Paul's
is
like, they're
great.
going to kill you. So you got to stick with us, man. Like, you're in our group now.
It's so good.
Yeah. So I did like that.
I
a
like
lot.
that, actually. Yeah. I've never, I mean, other than him just getting smoked like a bowling pin at last year's
that was
Rumble,
great. Braun Breaker. Yeah.
I've never really cared for him or anything that he's brought to the show, but this was actually pretty funny. The way that he was reacting to things was pretty cool. And he's all freaked out about Danhausen cursing him too.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, and that's, another thing to say is before this happens, he's trying to get Danhausen to lift the curse that's on him.
Yeah. So, his bad luck continues.
Yeah.
He needs that curse lifted.
Yeah. Next we have a Liv Morgan promo. Liv Morgan cuts an intense promo on Stephanie Vaquer.
It was.
She, I believe, insults her mother in Spanish. I did not look up the translation and I don't know Spanish, but she did say tu madre, which I believe it's your mother.
Yeah.
And then some more stuff. So that gets intense. Stephanie Vaquer comes out, attacks her. She's beating up Liv Morgan. And as this is happening, Roxanne Perez returns to save Liv. And the two team up on Stephanie Vaquer, beat her to a pulp, and stand victorious.
I don't like Liv cheating. I mean, I know she's a heel, but I feel like after the year she had in 2024, it was so strong. They haven't given her anything on her own.
Well, and Stephanie Vaquer's whole argument is that Liv hides behind her faction, hides behind her family, and this doesn't do, she continues to prove that to be true.
Exactly. So it's, while, she's feeling like the victor walking away from Stephanie Vaquer laying on the ground, like, of course you are. You cheated. You double teamed her. Like, it's not something to be proud of. And I get the heel thing, but I wanted Liv to win that belt at Mania. I don't know that it's going to go that way. I think there's going to be some sort of falling out where she sort of does that Finn Balor thing, maybe, where she starts to realize, maybe I should do things better.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be a path for Liv Morgan out of Judgment Day, I think, because she's too big of a star to just be in a faction forever.
I don't know that it'll happen as quickly as Mania, but at this point, I'm doubtful for her to get the win over Stephanie. But I mean, with that said, Stephanie's also had the belt for quite a while, so
who knows? Yeah. People love Liv Morgan, and I'd be happy to see her with a belt again. So
you know what? We'll see.
We will see.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. Next we had the women's tag team title match. Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jackson Lash Legend. Multiple teams interfere here. You get the Bellas, you get Charlotte and Alexa coming in. The match ends in chaos. The champions retain via DQ, and this is all set up for our multi-team,
which I talked about earlier,
Mania match. Yeah.
But I mean, again, we knew that this match was happening this way before that anyway. So I don't feel like the way I talked about that earlier was a spoiler. Everybody knew.
Not at all. No. Next we had Brock Lesnar Obafemi segment. So Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman come out. He calls out Obafemi. Obafemi comes out and destroys a security guard.
Yeah, he throws him like a basketball.
Yeah, that poor guy.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah, pretty rough for that guy. They go face to face in the ring. It's getting pretty intense. Triple H comes out and kind of has to break them up and then sends Brock Lesnar on his way.
Well, at first it was Adam Pearce.
That's true, yeah.
And
Adam Pearce
Oba tossed him.
Yeah, you said that. You're like, Oba just tossed Adam Pearce.
Jesus. Yeah. I mean,
he's
you're
like
not supposed to do that.
A bull in a china shop.
That kind of thing sets an odd precedent too, right? Like, when a guy's allowed to throw the boss around and get away with it, that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I feel like people have gotten like suspended for less, so I don't
They're going to
know.
have to talk about him being fined or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I think when Drew did that at Money in the Bank, he got fined.
There has to be some kind of repercussion. Next, we had the Intercontinental title match, Penta versus Kofi Kingston. Snooze fest, in my opinion.
Yeah, this was sort of useless. You knew Penta wasn't going to lose this belt. This was basically to build a SmackDown storyline that's a feud with Kofi and
Yeah,
Grayson Waller. So, and I don't know how long that's going to go for because I'm not sure how much longer Grayson Waller is going to have a job.
yeah.
But they're trying to build a feud there, so we'll see. Maybe he'll stick around longer, but there's nothing real happening there.
No.
We know that they've already announced this ladder match too for
Yeah,
Penta.
so
So
that it gets announced at this time, the ladder match for WrestleMania with
yeah,
Penta putting his title up for grabs. He says, up in the air is his territory or something to that effect. So,
yeah, they
um,
keep giving him these in-ring promos after his matches.
yeah, we were talking about that. Like he gets these interviews. He's the only wrestler that gets an interview after every match he does. What's
Yeah, and
happening
he's one of
there?
the only wrestlers that can't actually communicate
Yeah,
with the vast majority of
yeah.
people watching.
Why are we doing this?
It's an odd choice,
Yeah.
but people love him.
Next, we had a Paul Heyman promo, which is interrupted by GM Adam Pearce coming out and saying that Seth Rollins is now cleared for in-ring action. Then immediately Seth Rollins' music hits. Paul Heyman's freaking out in the ring, waiting for him to come out. Seth Rollins comes out behind Paul Heyman in the ring, attacks him with the chair, beats him down. And then while this is happening, Seth Rollins gets pulled out of the ring by a mystery person. That mystery person turns out to be the Ring General Gunther.
The Ring General.
The Ring General.
Fantastic. Okay, so
Why? Why is what we want to know.
yeah, let me go off for a second here. Before I go crazy here, I get that these are two big names that did not have WrestleMania pictures and they needed to have WrestleMania pictures, and this is better than nothing. Okay, I'll acknowledge this is better than nothing scenario, but it's painfully lazy and forced. For me, this is just lacking any kind of compelling nature. There's nothing between these guys. If anything, if they wanted to do this, they should have had, Seth getting close to hurting Paul Heyman and Paul Heyman basically saying you're the visionary and you always think you're 2 steps ahead. Well, this time I'm 3 steps ahead, and then have the Gunther's music pop or something, right? Have him come out on Paul Heyman's behalf. What the hell else is going on for him right now? He's got half his vision out anyways. He's got some time on his hands. I know he's with Brock too, but I mean there's definitely a way to work that angle and keep that hatred for Paul from Seth, the reason that this match is happening. To just have Gunther jump from out of nowhere and point at the WrestleMania sign with a chokehold, this was just too much, too fast, too forced. That's my stance on this.
Yeah, that's interesting because I'm thinking about it, and I think that would have been super simple for them to do. They wouldn't have even had to have Gunther fully align with the vision. It could have been just presented like Paul Heyman saying something like, "Oh, you think I've lost, a bunch of my team, or my team's preoccupied or whatever. Well, I know somebody else that's looking to, be at WrestleMania," or whatever the thing was, and then Gunther comes out as his, like, backup plan. I mean, they could have done something to explain why he's there, and the fact that they did nothing, um, you know, we felt like the crowd was super quiet. Like everybody was kind of like, what's going on? And you don't really want that. You want them to be like, oh my God, like this is crazy. And with zero explanation or zero, like, haha, this was all in the plan. I mean, there's nothing to react to there. People are just confused.
You know, in thinking about it, maybe it's not too late to create that tie-in, you know, for
And they
maybe
still
next
can.
week Paul can reveal that happened because of him, but they need to do something like that to give some credibility to this, to give it some clout. Um right now it's just okay, two
Yeah.
great wrestlers with, you know, great years. Seth maybe not as great being injured for half of it, but
Yeah.
it's really just banking on this will be a hell of an in-ring exhibition, right?
Yeah.
But we
Which
all
it
know that's
will.
not what we're tuning in for. We
No,
want the whole thing.
and a lot of people do like that, and it will be great, but they need the storyline. People need the storyline to buy in. And without any explanation, it doesn't make sense. And even I'll say, yes, do I think they can still save this by explaining it? Yeah, they can, but it would have been better to do it ahead of time. It would have been much more shocking. It would have made it seem much more like they had planned this rather than it was a last minute scramble to force something.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So here's hoping that they find their way to that tie-in and Paul is at the ring for that match. There has to be something that drives this half the year story. Like the vision has fallen apart at the hands of Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker. So you can't just leave that sitting on the sidelines for WrestleMania. This heat that you have with Heyman and Seth Rollins. I mean, you were putting them in jail last week in Boston. You're just going to drop this? Like the tie-in needs to be there. They have to see that it's the potential's still there.
Yep. Agreed.
Come on, WWE. I know not that many people watch our podcast,
sense.
but God, I hope this gets to you.
Make it make sense, guys. Next we had Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. So this was a strong match, two good fighters. Interference from Asuka and Kairi Sane. So here's our missing tag team from the women's tag team picture. They come out, interfere with this, and the distraction leads to Raquel Rodriguez hitting a Tejana bomb and winning the match.
Yeah, which I'm not upset about. Raquel is a favorite for us, so we like to see her win. Io is also a favorite, so not ever thrilled to see her lose. But this, I think, was more about the build with, you know, a feud between her and Asuka.
Yeah.
Because now there's going to be the match between Io and Asuka, and what's Kairi going to do?
Yeah.
Is she going to go back to being good, or is she going to, stay on the dark side? So that's something. And we were trying to figure out what they were going to do with Io Sky. And this is a story that has been progressing for a long, long time. So there's meat on this bone. I can get down with this. What are they going to do with Raquel? There's a question. Like,
Yeah.
is she just going to be a Judgment Day story where she's going to pay Liv back for all the times that Liv has cost her title shots? Is she just going to be at Mania to basically look like she's going to help Liv, but ultimately turn on her? I guess we'll see.
We will see.
But the story for her right now is essentially nothing besides likely being at Liv's match.
Gotta get involved in that Liv Morgan picture, I think. And I mean, I think Judgment Day should move forward with just imploding altogether. I mean, I think that you've got JD could stand to be in a faction. Roxanne Perez could stand to be in a faction. Everybody else in there can survive on their own as a single.
Well, yeah. I mean, Dom and Liv and Raquel, they are all solo stars on their own.
For
so
sure.
they don't need any of that. And it is it's run its course.
Yeah.
It's not even Judgment Day anymore. There's no original members.
Yeah.
It's sort of just a sham. of what it used to be. So,
but that's why I think that Raquel Rodriguez will interfere somehow with Liv. That's going to break down. There'll be more. I mean, I think this is still a longer storyline. I don't think all of this plays out because of WrestleMania, but I think that the Judgment Day has more breaking up to do.
Yep, I think that's probably where this goes, because why else would there be no Mania picture for Raquel?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the only thing that makes sense to me right now.
Lastly, on Raw, we had CM Punk and Roman Reigns, a segment between them. So Roman Reigns is out in the ring, CM Punk comes out. They immediately start to brawl, fighting in the ring. There's no talking, no promo this time, purely physical. CM Punk hits a go to sleep and power bombs Roman Reigns through the announce table. And Punk stands tall to end the show. So this came right after. I don't know if you want to say what you were.
I'm gonna
Get in.
expose
You have a
myself for sure.
tangent. Get into it.
Well, I saw online that quite a few people were disappointed in the fact that they didn't continue the promo back and forth, because that's really been firing people up, and they're both pretty good on the mic. So, I was not one of those people. I was happy to see this get a little bit physical, and to go on CM Punk's favor. I was saying though that, his move, the GTS, I think is a good move for him, because I don't know that he has the power to lift up guys like a lot of the other big stars do. And a fireman's carry is a lot easier to pull off. It's more leg strength than upper body strength. Um, and I'm saying this to you as we're watching it, and he attempts the first GTS and it doesn't work out, and then he gets the second attempt, he actually nails it. And I'm talking about this, and 2 minutes later, he gets up and he power bombs. he picks him up and power bombs him. I was like, well, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, Roman clearly helped with that, but they all do. That's part of selling, and making these moves look as good as they need to look. But I thought it was a great moment for Punk. The last couple of confrontations, he hasn't looked super tough against Roman, and I thought this was really good. He pulls his sweatshirt off and he's looking ripped as ever, and I just thought, okay, I'm here for this.
Yeah, he did a good job of looking like he could, stand to go with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
With the OTC. All right, I'm going to run through our updated WrestleMania card
Let's
now.
do that.
Okay. So, up to date, we have Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship, Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Penta versus JD McDonough versus Javon Evans versus Rusev versus Dragon Lee for the Intercontinental Championship. Ladder match, yeah. Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams for the United States Championship. Nia Jackson, Lash Legend versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus the Bella Twins versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Dom Mysterio versus Finn Balor. Seth Rollins versus Gunther, and Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu.
See what I mean, folks? It's a lot of freaking matches.
Yeah, as you said, that's a lot. I mean, that's actually 11 matches.
And the Io Sky Asuka thing's not on there, right?
10. No, so that's not on there. It's not been announced.
No, but you got to think it's Io Sky.
Yeah, if they throw that in there, we're 12. So
that's got to be it.
Yeah. And that'll bring us into our first segment.
Yeah, it will. Top of the pop.
Top of the pop.
Okay. We had a lot.
I know. I was trying to get a conversation going with you before we started recording to see if you had any thoughts, and we didn't get into it. We were doing setup.
This is tough. There's a lot going on. I think the Obafemi thing is, like I said, I feel like he's kind of stealing the show right now. the Seth Rollins pop when his music hit, though, after they announced, like after Pierce announced that he's back and cleared for action, and his music hit, I think that for me was probably top pop.
Yeah, I could go with that. Before he even came out, Seth Rollins is cleared for in-ring action. There was a huge pop for that.
Yeah.
So I can get behind that as
because
our
people are
choice.
excited to see him go up against Paul Heyman. You know, not good there.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was before Gunther came out, and I think, that's when the confusion set in. But I agree. Initially, people were super pumped for that, and I think that's a safe top of the pop this week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Second segment. Let's go.
Let's go.
You suck.
Hottest of the heat.
Hottest of the heat.
Well, I mean, I don't want to keep giving it to the same guy all the time, but he really is just burning it up.
Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think there's
his heat is
much...
damn hot right now.
Yeah.
Like who is even coming close to that right now?
No, nobody. I agree with that.
You look at any of the heels in the picture right now, they're not pulling heat like that. I mean, most of them are getting a fairly equal pop or cheer to their babyface opponent, So I think right now Paul is just really the villain of WWE. Now, his vision, the tag team vision, their heat was, palpable.
Yeah. And he could have had a potential contender in this with Gunther, because Gunther had a ton of heat prior to this leave, with his AJ Styles retirement and John Cena retirement and all this stuff. He had been our hottest of the heat a lot of weeks. But the way they brought him back into the story, it's super confusing for people, and it didn't hit, and he didn't get the heat that he normally gets out of sheer confusion from the crowd. So
yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was more of just a sort of a shocked and not really sure what to think type of reaction from the crowd. But yeah, it's got to be Paul.
Sure. Let's do it. Paul Heyman.
Tearing it up, Paul.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman.
There you go.
Yep.
Shall we?
Let's do it.
The social. Social.
Nice.
Pretty good. Good for us.
Good for us. Okay. First off, I'll start with the fluffiest thing that I have, and that is that The Rock posted on Twitter, tweeted, that he got a call that he was receiving Disney's highest honor, the Disney Legends Award. That's for people that have made a significant impact in the Disney realm. I think his voiceover work with Moana and the live action Moana likely added to a lot of that.
That other one there, the Jungle Cruise. Is that what it was?
Yeah. There's definitely other Disney movies he's in. I would just Moana, these
pretty big deal.
Animated kids movies end up being a really huge deal. So that's awesome for him. He's getting that. My more interesting part of this is that Danhausen retweeted it, and he said, Danhausen will induct you into the Disney Hall of Fame if you induct Danhausen into the WWE Hall of Fame. And I thought that was pretty funny.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
We didn't really mention it because it wasn't super impactful, but he was on this Monday Night Raw too. And these 30-second little segments that he gets backstage, they're awesome. And on a Monday Night Raw that did not hit great for me, this was one of the gem moments of the night. Adam's like, aren't you supposed to disappear? He's like, oh yeah. But then just keeps staring at him.
Adam was like, okay.
I really, really like.
We get kind of giddy when we see him because we're like, and again, we're sometimes coming out of stuff that we're like, what is going on? Why did they do that? And then all of a sudden Danhausen pops up. We're like, it's Danhausen. What's he going to do?
Yeah. I feel like he's there for all the wrong reasons. And I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's so funny. He's not wrestling anyone. All he wants to do is just basically make himself the biggest name he can.
And he's got some great social media stuff. Like I watched a video of him walking around to all of the WWE trucks, like backstage.
Yeah, because he wants his name on a truck. Yeah. That's his ultimate goal.
Yeah, and he's walking around looking at all the pictures. And he's like, okay, we looked at all the different sides of all these trucks, and it's this person, this person, this person. He's like, okay. He's like, okay, we got one more to go look at. And he goes around, and it's Tiffany Stratton. And he had already seen one that was Tiffany Stratton. He's like, she gets 2? What's going on here? It's like, why does she get 2 and Danhausen doesn't get any?
So good.
Yeah, so there's like quite a few things like that. Or like he did one with the Bella twins. He's like, I see what's going on here. Clones. And then he just walks away, and both the two of them look at each other like, clones?
He's great.
Yeah.
I hope he does wrestle.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
I'm sure he will. But yeah, great comedic relief from Danhausen. Okay, next, WWE World. So I just wanted to give an update on our WWE World experience because we've talked about the fact that we're going. We're excited. We're going on the Friday. And we had, at that time, everything was sold out. We got the Trish Stratus. I have such a hard time saying her name. Trish Stratus. That's what I want to do. Anyways, we got her autograph experience.
It's Trish Stratus.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm telling you what wants to come out of my mouth.
Oh, okay.
Is Trish Stratus.
I thought we were having a moment there, like, oh no.
No.
We better get this straight before we meet her.
But my mouth doesn't want to say it properly.
Gotcha.
So anyway, we got her autograph experience. So we were super pumped for that. We've been watching to see, if anybody else opens up. Some people got added. It kept saying tickets will be on sale soon. Again, we did not get proper notification that these were going on sale by email, even though I've signed up for every email notification that WWE World has and WWE has. We were just sitting at breakfast on the weekend, or last Thursday, actually. And you were like, have you checked WWE World to see if anything else has been posted? I said, no, I'll go in now. I open it up and I just clicked on Tiffany Stratton to get it to go into where you can actually buy tickets. And it said, you have been input in the pre-sale queue. And I'm like, I didn't even know what I clicked. Now I'm in a pre-sale queue. I didn't even know this was happening.
It was a whirlwind 5 minutes.
Yeah, so then we're waiting to get into the pre-sale. Then we're trying to rush to pick who we want to pick because we're like, we didn't even know this was happening. Okay, good. We're going to get somebody. We're trying to pick who we want. And we had Becky Lynch, Bayley, Raquel Rodriguez. That's who we initially had in our cart, those 3. And photo ops with them. And we waited too long. And when we went to check out, it said Becky Lynch had sold out.
Yeah, which if you follow us, we're big Becky Lynch fans. That's Leisha's favorite.
Yeah.
So to have had it in our cart and then to be told it was gone was pretty gut-wrenching, especially knowing that, because it was there when we first grabbed it, we could have just gotten, we could have just bought it right away and
we learned a valuable lesson that day.
We took a little too long to make our minds up, but it had a countdown that we thought sort of meant that they were holding these tickets.
I thought I had them in my cart. I thought if I have them in my cart, surely nobody else can buy it. It's on hold. Just like when you're buying tickets from Ticketmaster, if you put those tickets in your cart, you have a certain amount of time that those tickets
that clock that's ticking is how long they're holding them for you. That was not the case here. No. They gave us a clock and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
But we did secure Bayley and Raquel, and we swapped the Becky Lynch meet and greet for a different Irish redhead.
Sheamus. Yeah.
Sheamus.
Yeah, so regardless, disappointed about the Becky Lynch situation for sure, but I'm excited with who we got. My big one that I really wanted was Raquel Rodriguez because we've been on a year of growth with her, and I've been really excited about what she's been doing lately.
Yeah, we also have the women's tag team championship belt that's autographed by her and Liv. So to now get our picture with her,
Yeah,
that'll be cool because we have our picture with Liv where she's holding the belt actually. So it'll be a neat thing that we can kind of put it all together in a nice display, and that'll be fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it all worked out. We're happy with what we got, but that WWE World ticket sales situation is a mess.
Yeah, it's a real rodeo. Well, for this particular trip, I think the 4 meet and greets will be enough.
Yeah. We're supposed to go to SmackDown that day too, so we are already pushing it.
It's a busy day for
Yeah.
sure, but we're gonna get it all in for
Yeah,
sure.
we're gonna do it. Lastly on the social, I posted a video, if anybody follows our TikTok, it was just a funny video of me dancing to Obafemi's entrance music, and the basis of it was just like me entering every room since Obafemi's debut, and I'm doing to his music. And I just walk up to the fridge, open the fridge. Just thinking, it'll get a few laughs. And someone on Facebook commented on it and said, well, you're certainly built like Obafemi.
Yeah.
And we did not take that very well.
No, we weren't sure if we wanted to talk about this. We weren't sure if we should do it on our show or in a separate video to address this sort of thing. But we've clearly decided to do it in our show because this is a segment called The Social, and this happened in our social media. This was a comment made on a post that we made on Facebook. My stance on this, clearly as this woman's partner, is I'm not thrilled with that. And I'll try and keep this as appropriate as I can because this is a show and we don't want, people to think poorly of us. I think that with the world we're living in right now, there's so much negativity that is just force fed, right? Like you don't have a choice. And, you've got, people out there that are trying to throw some good stuff into the mix and really try and create some balance in this terribly negative world right now. And, Leash is one of those people. We are some of those people. And here we put out a video that is clearly fun and lighthearted and intended to make people laugh. And someone's immediate reaction is to be hurtful and rude and negative. And we just removed the comment, so it's not something you can go back and try to retaliate against. But it's just kind of one of those things like, if you don't have anything nice to say, you probably shouldn't say anything at all. Uh, Unbelievable to me that we live in a world where adults still need to be taught this lesson. And I just felt like it deserved to be addressed.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll back up a sec. We did not immediately delete the comment. So I did respond to it to start off, and I just said, well, I had a jab in there. I said, well, you're built like a keyboard warrior. We all have our issues. And I said, imagine commenting this to a woman and thinking that it's okay. And I said, but anyways, thanks for the watch. Thanks for the comment. Have a great day. His response to that was, it's not my problem if you can't take a joke, sweetheart. To which Keir then responded, and my mom started to respond. And that's when I decided to take it down because I just didn't want it to build up any more than that. But to respond to him, if he ever watches our stuff, the joke was supposed to be, this is how much WWE is affecting my life. Like I'm dancing into rooms to people's entrance music. You turned it around and made a specific negative comment about my body. It's no longer a joke anymore. You were trying to make me feel bad. So that's where things get off the rails. I understand people, you're on the internet. You do have to be able to take some stuff on the chin and be able to take a joke. I have a pretty good sense of humor. You did not intend to be funny. You intended to be mean. And that's just not cool.
No, and it makes me want to have one of those unsanctioned parking lot matches with you. So
yeah. But we removed it. We blocked him. So it's done and over with. And we will continue to do that. If people are not going to participate in what we put out there in a positive way, as we're doing, we're putting things out to be positive. We are one of the more positive wrestling podcasts that's out there, and we want to be that way. If you can't participate in it in a positive way and you're going to be cruel to us or anybody else in our bubble, then I'll just block you because it's just not worth my time.
Yeah, you're not going to get any miles with that behavior, so you might as well save your time and just keep scrolling, okay? But yeah, so we'll move on from that.
Yeah, that's it for our show anyways. And if you do want to check out any of our TikToks or, YouTube Reels or anything, we are on all of those things: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, X/Twitter, and you can find us at Pop and Heat. We would welcome all of your positive comments or negative comments if they have to do with wrestling.
That's right. And you can check out this and all our other 47 episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and Audible, and YouTube Music as well now. And as always, you can catch our video episode right here on YouTube as well.
That's right. Here we are. And check in next week. We'll have another update on the road to WrestleMania, and we're coming up quick. We'll have our 50th episode the week of WrestleMania.
That's right.
Yep.
And if you're not already liking and subscribing and following and all that stuff, what are you waiting for? Come and get on this train with us, all right? We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.